K. Sreenivasulu was born 1923, Madras, died 1995. He was Diploma in Fine Arts from the Government School of Arts and Crafts, Madras, in 1940. Formerly art director at the Besant School, Adyar, Madras, and design demonstration in Government of Tamil Nadu. He placed within the discourse on the Madras art movement. Sreenivasulu spent his childhood in rural Nagalapuram in Chitoor district, adopting a local folk idiom despite being academically trained and exposed to Western art. His experiences were rooted in rural Nagalapuram in Andhra Pradesh, where he had spent 12 years of his childhood and adolescence before running away to Madras. The wooden toys and folk crafts of Kondapalli and Tirupati had fascinated him. When parental pressure to perform well in school increased, he ran away from home to Madras. Here he found a mentor and a doctor who hired him to do menial jobs. The doctor was an enthusiast of dance and music and noticed young Sreenivasulu's drawing skills, and admitted him to the Government School of Arts and Crafts. He graduated from Panikar in 1941. They went on to carve separate paths. He was as much a pioneer as Panikar. He too taught art at Besant School, Adyar. In the 1940s, he painted pictures influenced by Western style, especially Impressionistic. He found new inspiration when he copied some of the murals of Lepakshi, Sigiriya and Tanjore for the Government Museum, Madras, which led to the developing of a new style that grew out of the folk art of South India. A great stimulus to him at the time was his contact with Chennai Roy. Sreenivasulu came under criticism for working in a style that resembled the representational language of Chennai Roy, though the regional sensibilities of both artists were poles apart. If Chennai Roy's oeuvre was characterized by stern pragmatic lines and terse compositions that resisted the mannered sentimentalism of the Bengal school, Sreenivasulu's expressions contradicted almost all aspects except the persistent descriptive line. He extended his study to the Jain miniature tradition with Chennai Roy's iconography, amalgamating both these with Lepakshi-style mural folk patterning and use of bright colors. The mid-1940s was productive for Sreenivasulu. The structured compositions of Jain miniatures with their hierarchical placement of figures, the projecting eye and profile, the two-dimensional space, chromatic contrasts, a ubiquitous flowing line morphing as pattern designs, these proved catalytic. Gemini Roy's impact on him lay in his simplicity of design and boldness of composition. Sreenivasulu's preferred medium had been watercolors, tempera and oil. By the late 1950s, he was in a mood to explore, which he accomplished in the decade of 1960s with experiments in different media. Realizing that the possibilities of media and technique were objectively predetermined and responded to individual will, he decided to focus on medium and techniques. His experimentations privileging innovation over skill, he moved from watercolors and oil to experiment in mixed media with crayons and watercolors. The results were dynamically different from his earlier works. Artist says, "I definitely owe much to the Western schools of painting. I have studied with keen interest their works in watercolors, pastels, and so forth. We can adopt, without altering the fundamentals of our approach, their realistic approach, watercolor sketches of landscapes, still lifes, portraits and nudes. It will certainly add flavor and mitigate the dreariness of our style and would make our art exciting and varied. My knowledge of Indian and Western art has grown with experience. The Indian touch or flavor in my paintings does not create any problem of communication. The technique employed by me depends on the medium used. I have been greatly impressed by the work of Gemini Roy, a pioneer in the folk art of Bengal. His pictures are appealing because of their rustic simplicity, and the use of folk colors.